Oh, we live. We live. Cool, 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 cool. All right. I want to go live real quick just to give y'all a space to talk about everything that's been going on. Let's see. We'll go ahead and put the link up. Let me put the link in the chat real quick. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. We'll post the link in the chat. I'm gonna pin the link up there so you guys can hit that link. There you go. I posted the link up there. Can you guys hear me? Are we good? What up? What up? What up? I know this is spontaneous. This is very random. This is very random, so it can go either way. I'm not really expecting much. The drinks have been flowing. The Vikings won, and also Ye was on Drink Champs, saying a whole bunch of shit. I'm gonna do a show about it tomorrow, and I'm gonna speak my piece and everything that I feel. But I know that a lot of people may have opinions on this, and I want to open up the floor to you guys. So you see the link; it's at the top of the chat. If you want to join in and give your opinion on what was going on or how you feel about the situation, if you want to say something about how Ye handled this or how Nori or Drink Champs or just anything you want to speak on, come on and join me on this beautiful Sunday night and we can talk about it. I'm gonna roll another one after this. GMS fam, how y'all feeling? What up, Glow? I see you. I see you. Like I said, hit that link at the top of the chat if you want to join the conversation. There was some things that were said. I want to pinpoint one thing. Um, it's the George Floyd comments. Um, the George Floyd comments to me were the most disheartening. It was the most disheartening thing to hear, even though I knew it was coming from a kook. I knew Kanye isn't really all the way there. And it's not to call him crazy. Sorry, I used the word kook, maybe out of frustration, but Kanye's dealing with some shit, and his reaction to a lot of things is just to speak and say the first thing that comes to mind. So I it was hard for me to hear that without having to go crazy on Kanye on social media. Um, given the fact that we saw what we saw for ourselves in real time on video. It wasn't body cam, it wasn't speculation, it wasn't a rumor that somebody came up with. It wasn't eyewitness uh remarks and comments. It was what we saw for ourselves, and yet somehow the narrative is being pushed that it was fentanyl. And clearly you see that his reason for thinking that came from Candace Owens. And I for the life of me don't understand how somebody could be an advocate for free thinking but getting their information from somebody who is, in my opinion, uh a self-hating black person. It's the best way to put it. Candace Owens is a self-hating black woman, and he is getting his information from somebody who hates themselves. I don't understand that. Also, KK, if you're trying to enter, I can't. It says device not connected. You gotta try to connect in. The link is at the top of the chat. If you see that link that's pinned in the chat right now in the live chat, click on that if you want to join in and give your opinion. I want to know what you guys think about what happened with this Ye interview. But see, my problem with the George Floyd and the White Lives Matter shit is how Kanye is going about it. If anybody paid attention to the interview or paid attention to what he was saying, please understand that Kanye is mad at the black community for their lack of, I guess, speaking up for him and his children. As if we're supposed to know for a fact that his kids were kidnapped, even though when that whole quote unquote kidnap fiasco happened, the same day he was let in to go to his daughter's birthday. Like, do y'all know what happened that day? Do y'all know what happened when this nigga was talking about his kids got kidnapped? Kanye thought he wasn't allowed to go to his daughter's birthday or wasn't being able to get the address to his daughter's birthday. He got it from Travis Scott. He went later that day. Nobody got kidnapped, but for some reason he holds the black community responsible for not speaking up when niggas didn't even know or didn't even think his kids were getting kidnapped. Like, he said he's gonna stop wearing the shirt. I'll stop wearing a shirt when y'all start speaking up, when the culture as a whole starts speaking up, when my kids get kidnapped in broad daylight. Like, I don't know who could hear anything that Kanye is saying during that interview and think that he's in the right mind. He leans into that. They're pushing the narrative that I'm crazy, but then you go on to say some crazy shit. So it's like, how are we supposed to not think that you are a duck, nigga? You quack like one, nigga, it looked like one, nigga. What are we supposed to think? Now, like I said, if you have something to say, man, if you aren't scared, if you aren't afraid, you ain't got to put your face on here, man. Yeah, I know a lot of people be scared to put their face on there. You can just put your voice on here, nigga. It's very easy. If you click the link and just say join in, you could just put turn off cam or stop cam. You can join in the show and give your opinion if you want to do it. The link is pinned at the top of the chat because I'm gonna do a show about this tomorrow, regardless. And I'm gonna really get my point. I got points written down. I'm not trying to look at them because I don't want to ruin the show tomorrow because I got a lot to talk about. Because there was some things that I agree with. Now, Kanye's under fire with the Jewish community because of the things that he said. He said he was going to go DEFCON 5 on the Jewish community. Now, I don't understand what he meant by that. But he will go on to talk about everything that is owned by the Jewish community, which is facts. But you don't have to go DEFCON whatever on a whole community because you feel like they control everything. If we know that we have the power and we have the influence and we have the ability to move this shit and push the culture on our own, we should be pushing to own everything on our own, no matter how long it takes or no matter if we don't get the richest, the fastest. Everybody wants to, like, that's the thing, man. If you can really stop, then this is what I think the industry did. The industry, not Jewish people as a culture, the industry, whoever is running the industry, any of these money hungry ass individuals who only see dollar signs and will go to the extreme extent by only signing and promoting artists that perpetuate negative stereotypes in our community. Those are the people who we as a culture feel like we can't go at because they, for some reason, hold the power. What power do they have besides money? They will throw the money at niggas because they know that it will shut niggas up. They have thrown everything, sign niggas, bonuses, chains, cars, the glamorous lifestyle, and to shit on everybody else and feed off that type of energy to make sure that nobody has a mind of their own to want to build or own any of their own or own any of their own shit. And I believe it, and that's right. LR really said it exactly what I was going to say next. For some reason, I could just feel that Kanye is a distraction right now, a big distraction. Now we live in a generation of people who take words and just let it ruin their whole motherfucking day. Will let a shirt ruin their whole motherfucking day. It's detrimental to a certain degree, but only detrimental to that person. We should only hold it to that person. We shouldn't allow somebody to put on a White Lives Matter shirt and think that that should affect the entire black community to the point where we just, oh my God. No, nigga, it's Kanye West. We know that nigga's not right up there. Let that nigga move how he want to move. If you want to listen to everything Candace Owens saying, let him listen to that. The shit he was talking about with George Floyd was because he got linked up with Candace. Candace did a documentary, and in that documentary, Candace talking about George Floyd being on fentanyl. And you know what's crazy about this whole fentanyl argument? That was the most convenient thing that they could run to because of the fact that fentanyl is that big thing that's been killing a bunch of people, and it's been taking X, Y, and Z out, and it's so bad, and it's this and that. Yes, it's really bad. Yes, a lot of people have overdosed and have taken fentanyl unwillingly. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, Mac Miller. Rest in peace to anybody who has died due to fentanyl. But please understand that is an easy scapegoat. Don't let them try to distract you from the fact that we saw something with our own eyes. We saw it. We watched it. It was right there in front of us. What else did we need to see besides watching it happen right in front of us? Minimizing this man's death. And I promise you, not one of them can answer the question, if George Floyd did not interact with the police that day, would he have died? You can't answer that fucking question because that's not a fucking scenario. What happened was he came into contact with police officers. They put him on the fucking ground, and a knee was applied to the back of his neck for several minutes to the point where he died. I don't know why people try to use these things to prove certain points or drive home their own narrative. I mean, I understand why racist motherfuckers would do it. I understand why white supremacy would do it. He don't even understand that. Why he's sitting over there talking about he won't wear the shirt if we speak out for his kids that are being kidnapped in broad daylight. Nigga, do you know that you're upholding white supremacy by putting on a White Lives Matter shirt? What's crazy is when they bring up the White Lives Matter shit and they bring up all this shit, he doesn't understand the impact of his decisions because he's getting it from a secondhand party that doesn't even like herself. Like what fucks me up, and I like I said, I'm trying not to use my points that I was that I had written down in my phone because I want to make sure I use this for the show tomorrow, but I'll still talk about it regardless. When Nori tried to check him, see, Nori fumbled the ball. Nori fumbled the ball heavily. When Nori did, when he tried to speak to, and I get it, and I commend him and I respect him for trying, but you can't try when you're blasted, when you fucking drunk as hell, and when you're in the face of somebody who you adore and don't see that can do any wrong in your eyes. You're a little more timid. Nori fumbled the ball because when he talked about Kanye putting on the White Lives Matter stuff, he was trying to explain, like, we know white lives do matter. Every life matters. But historically, black lives have not mattered. And White Lives Matter wasn't created because of the organization, Kanye, Candace Owens, any of you other coon ass niggas out there that think that this was something that was done because y'all trying to combat the organization. That was brought up to combat the fact that niggas was saying Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter was getting combated with All Lives Matter and White Lives Matter because white racist, white supremacists don't give a fuck about black lives. Then the organization got bigger and fucked everything up because them niggas decided to do what they wanted to do with their own shit because they're individuals. But because white people don't see black, this is the funny thing about it. See, it proves the fact that white people see black people all the same because not once did they distinguish the two. They lumped in with the organization with every they just say, yeah, Black Lives Matter organization speaks for every black person. They represent every black person. So whenever we hear a black person say Black Lives Matter, we have to combat that with some shit. What? Further proving our point. And when he was trying to explain to Kanye X, Y, and Z, Kanye was trying to come up with different excuses, but then he was like, I just need you to know. And Kanye was like, saying white lives matter doesn't mean black lives don't matter. Are you nigga, are you serious? Niggas have been saying this for years, ever since they've been saying Black Lives Matter. They have been saying this does not mean that no other life matters and that our life matters more. This is about what should matter that historically hasn't mattered. And we were met with white lives matter and all lives matter. And when we were met with that, we explained, hey, we know everybody's life matters. Once again, historically, you know, the history books that y'all had us go through all our lives in school, slavery, segregation, the countless amounts of racist attacks against black people in America. Please understand the way that we have been treated systematically. Please understand that historically, factually, black lives have not mattered in this country and has been combated with phrases like white lives matter and all lives matter. And Kanye took it upon himself to listen to that stank pussy having ass bitch and fucking put this shit on his back and made him believe that this was something that was going to stick it to the organization, not knowing or not even thinking or not actually giving a fuck about what that actually meant. And Candace Owens is somebody that's pulling the wool over a lot of black people's eyes, making it. She's doing something that somebody like a Charleston White is doing, somebody like a Kanye is doing. The people that will sit up there and make you believe that they actually give a fuck by putting in factual little shits here and there, but giving you their, like, you got to understand what they're famous for, what they're upholding, why they're in the certain areas that they are, why they fuck with the certain entities that they do. They have a bigger purpose than what they're trying to finesse y'all into thinking. That's right. Oppressed lives matter. I like that one. I like that one too. But we're not gonna disregard what has happened in this country. A lot of people like to sprinkle in factual shit to have you run. Like, you need that. Y'all gotta understand, if you look up cults and what a cult is and what a cult leader is, think about it. These motherfuckers, they like, think about the most famous cult leader in the world. I forgot the dude's name. He was a cult leader. He had a bunch of his followers. And then one night went to somebody's house and murdered some people because he told them to. See, what that dude did was sprinkled in factual information and was able to have them believe him to a certain extent while also giving off his crazy fucking ideas. The human brain is easy to manipulate if you got the right people in front of you, and we got enough brainless, non-thinking for themselves as people in this fucking country to just blindlessly follow these motherfuckers. If you think Candace Owens cares about black people or the wellness of black people or the progress of black people, you have been hoodwinked. You have been lied to. You have been scammed, bamboozled. Because nobody I know that wants to see better for black people has done things that have been actively against black people like Candace Owens has. When there are times to speak up and actually do something productive for the black community, this bitch finds a way to shit on it. And then for her to try to act like there's a lot of these unintelligent, brainless motherfuckers that are around who are on the left. Meanwhile, they got a nigga like Herschel Walker running. Man, get the fuck out of here. A lot of these people are driven by like-minded individuals, people that will help push their agenda or help push their narrative. So it don't matter if you a dumb nigga or if your CTE acting up. If you pushing the same narrative and the same ideas as these people, they will support you. It ain't got nothing to do with logic or common sense or who's right or who's wrong. Everybody wants you to try to side with them because for the most part, a lot of people are against what's not systematically put here in place to disenfranchise us as a people. Candace works for the machine, and if they have somebody like Kanye West on their side, they've won majorly. Kanye's influence will have people rocking MAGA hats and White Lives Matter t-shirts. Do you know how many? First of all, the majority of the fans that pop up to Kanye shows are white. Does Kanye even know this? I don't know if he's seen it in the past 5 years because the nigga will hop out on stage with a fucking mask on. So I don't know if he'd be able to see how many people are at his concert or what they actually look like. But majority of these motherfuckers at these concerts are white. And you want to rep a White Lives Matter t-shirt. Kanye, that is some idiotic shit. I don't give a fuck how you see it, how you put it. That is fucking stupid. So you want these motherfuckers to pull up at your shows with White Lives Matter t-shirts on? I see why they canceled your 4 stadium shows that you had planned. Fuck the anti-Semitic shit that you said on Twitter. I'm glad that nobody had the chance to pull up to a concert with a White Lives Matter t-shirt on talking about, well, Kanye said it. Kanye said it was okay. Kanye was cool with it. That's some brainless ass shit. Damn, I thought I was gonna have somebody join in the show. I ended up going in, man. I'm still gonna do the show tomorrow, man, because we got to talk about some other shit. But like I said, look, I got the link posted at the top of the chat, man. If you guys want to join in the show, click the link that is posted at the top of the chat. Join in, say what you need to say. I see a couple people in here that do pods in the chat, man. If y'all want to join in and say your piece or say what you need to say regarding this situation, man, please be my guest and hit that link. I'm gonna roll up another joint and continue to speak my piece until this cup is gone, until the joint is gone. He said they're gonna take that nigga money. Willie said Kanye is dead in the water. They got the rest of them over here putting his career to bed, and he think they are friends. I got my guy Zen Master coming in from Portland. Shout out my guy Zen Master. What's going on, brother?
Say no more, young nigga. What's happening with you?
What's going on, man? I'm good. I'm chilling, man. How you feeling this Sunday?
I'm feeling good. I just got done rolling this up. Heard
Let's
you
get it.
make that call. I'm like, damn, I didn't even know you had the StreamYard posted.
Oh yeah. It's up there, man. Let's get to it, brother.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna go in on you, boy, okay? First
ahead,
of
do your
all,
thing.
everybody got to bear in mind this motherfucker got production credits that go back to 96. So we talking 26, almost 27 years of him making hit records and beats for people.
Yep.
And that kind of talent blinds people to the realities about a person. People don't want to believe certain things about Michael Jackson. They don't want to believe certain things about R. Kelly.
Yeah.
They don't want to believe certain things about Kanye West.
True.
But this nigga is I've watched him go from a beat maker to a personality, well, to a rapper, to more of a personality. And he's fighting the cycle of relevance. Like 50 Cent used to always talk about staying relevant. And he's somebody who is always conscious of it and aware of it. And Kanye is conscious and aware of it.
Right.
His musical reach is slowing down. This is what happens with a lot of old niggas. They start getting old and corny and they start leaning on their Christianity. Right? Okay. Now he's Mr. Christian conservative and all that wild shit he did in his past. Well, you know, everything's about Jesus now. Fuck all that. I didn't do none of that. Right?
Yeah.
He's fucking retarded. And this is what destroyed his marriage because he expected Kim to become some Madonna. Kim ain't trying to be nobody's goddamn Madonna. You married the streets, cuz. What the fuck did you think was going to happen?
Right, right.
And so here we are.
That's why I said that shit about, because he was like, you know, he was on Drink Champs talking about how, you know, Kim is like over sexualized and how he don't want his daughter to do this. And now I'm like, nigga, you know who you married.
Right.
Like, you know who you married when you married her. And on top of that, you talk, and not even just talking about his wife, he talked about the negativity of over sexualization in the music. I'm like, nigga, just a couple years ago, you was just talking about fucking a model with her asshole bleached. What are you talking about, Kanye? Now, I'm all for people changing for the better and doing this and that, but Kanye, you know you going out on stage singing those lines. Don't try to talk about the negativity of over sexualization in music when you participate in it.
Yeah. Yeah, but he, you know, he's trying to make that pivot, what some people consider to be growing up, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm kind of an unconventional dude for 50 years old. I blow weed on the internet. I do wild shit. I dress younger. I act younger. I'm just a younger dude at heart, right? That's because I never bought into the belief that you got to turn into this stereotypical Christian, go to church, blah, 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 everything down the line that a lot of black people believe in. And Kanye West is very much of that ilk to where, despite his wild ass shit, he thinks to please his mama, he got to be this X, Y, and Z. What killed me the most was how he turned on his mama on that Tucker Carlson interview and said because she was an actress, a liberal, she was a liberal because she was an actress. And that's why he didn't have access to his father. You fuck boy.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's wild.
I mean, what a fuck boy.
People got to stop believing in politics the way that they do, like that,
Right.
to the point where you will sit up there and disrespect your mom or her legacy.
Mom.
Like he spoke on the documentary a little bit, not too much, because clearly the documentary was good enough for him not to fucking spaz the fuck out. All he had to say with it was, "Oh, I wasn't consented about it," or nothing like that. Nigga, fuck that shit. That nigga did you a service.
He did, actually.
Solid.
He did.
You should be thanking the fuck out that nigga, especially somebody who clearly you did wrong at one point, but didn't even hold it against you, dog.
Yep. He could have ruined him.
Yeah.
He absolutely could have ruined him in that thing. And I haven't watched it because I'm not, like I said, I'm not giving Kanye no energy outside of your show and whoever else I'm fans with that I cover.
You
but
don't think Cootie had got a bunch more footage of Kanye doing some wild dumb shit?
I'm sure he do.
Could have put out there.
I'm sure he do it. He's probably keeping that for the you know for the action. Should Kanye do anything stupid towards him, you know I got the tapes.
Right.
You know I got the tapes. But
he commented on that. He was like, yeah, you know, like they did on a documentary. They you know, they got to cut the camera off on Kanye. They got to cut the mic off. But it's like they cut it off because they only want to show a glimpse of you having a what do you call an episode. Like if they would have kept parts in or kept the camera rolling, niggas would have seen what people had to deal with on a regular basis in real life with a Kanye West.
Right.
And at that point, they didn't want to destroy your fan base.
Wouldn't that be the best part 2 ever to a documentary series though?
Man, look.
The other side.
He gonna blame it on Jewish people or the fact that they after him and his family. And it's like, nah, you keep giving people reasons. See, this is the thing. This is what Kanye forgets. He's dealing with certain shit in his personal life and then blaming the public for it and expecting the public to react or to have his back about some personal shit, that he's dealing with that we don't fucking know about. We don't know the ins and outs of this shit.
I don't care about your kids, bro. That's your problem.
We don't know what the fuck going on with you. So the fact that you taking it out on the public or taking it out on the black community,
right,
which he'll never admit, but I'm listening to people like I wanted to, and I knew this was gonna be controversial to say because of how respected this guy is, but it's the truth. I feel the same way about Tony Yayo. Tony Yayo has a very strong resentment for niggas.
For the black community,
and not just black community, but I say niggas for a reason, like niggas, like, and I understand that because niggas will kill you.
Yeah, sometimes the guys that have been through the trench wars, they feel that way.
Yeah, niggas will call you wash. Niggas will have uh uh money on your head or be plotting on you when you come back to certain areas. And he talk about him going to overseas or being in front of other individuals or being in front of white
Yeah.
people and how they treat him.
But you
And I'm
know,
like,
Black,
I
you know
see
that's
that.
not for nothing, no, Black. You know ain't nobody put the target on his head because he didn't fuck up their family at some point.
Bruh.
He did some shit to earn that.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's what I'm
So,
saying. Karma is what comes with it too. And people try to blame
yeah,
their surroundings. It's like, no, you did what you did. And this
absolutely.
doesn't take away from him as a loyal individual, because everybody needs a Tony Yayo on their squad. I don't care what
Facts.
you say. Everybody needs a Tony Yayo.
Yeah. He the Draymond of the G unit.
Straight up. But there's certain things that I paid attention to during his interview and certain things that he said about black people versus other races. And I see that same thing coming out of Kanye, but in a more extreme way. See, Yayo, he's more valid with what he's saying because I can tell he's only speaking about a certain demographic. He
He's
talk
speaking
about
on the street level.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Kanye speaking from the level of, oh, y'all niggas just supposed to support everything that I do. It's like,
Kanye
no,
wants to be the God King of America. If you just look at him as somebody who wants to be the apex God King of America, he wants to be Donald Trump. I said that in the chat. And he's trying
yeah.
to line himself up to be the next Donald Trump. So these antics aren't going to stop.
Well, see, the reason why Kanye's lying about his stance on this, about him saying, "Oh, I'll start wearing a shirt. I'll start doing this." If y'all, nigga, your kids weren't being kidnapped in broad daylight when you had on the MAGA hat.
No.
That you were still married and still involved with your family heavily when you were out there sitting on Trump's lap in the Oval Office. So what are you talking about?
And then this rant on his father. Now, you ain't spoke about your father in how long? 30 years we ain't heard you say shit about your father. All of a sudden, he's the black Steve Jobs, and he just got held up, and they didn't listen to his ideas and all these fucking excuses. Man,
Yeah.
I can't stand this motherfucker. I'm going to let you know. When I listen to him speak, I want to fucking throw up. Every word out of his mouth is like vomit-inducing to me. That's how I feel about Kanye West at this point. He's a piece of shit.
Well, it's like people think that there's supposed to be some bigger message behind what he's doing, man, and I see it. I see it. I see it for what it is. Like I said, if you're somebody who says, I'll stop doing this detrimental thing if you guys do something only in favor of me, that is a selfish, that is a non-thoughtful human being who is all about himself and most likely has a bunch of yes men around him.
That is the most narcissistic shit you could ever say or do.
I can't rock with that. And
That's
like
like
I said,
terrorism. I won't fuck you. That's like a abuser at home. Honey, I won't beat you if you just stop, making the green beans lukewarm.
well, and that's part of like the manipulation too. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
you have to manipulate. You have to be good at manipulating people. And Kanye, his way of doing that and manipulating the masses of making them think that he's doing this for a bigger cause is because he'll put certain factual things inside of his rants.
A little bit of
So
truth.
yeah, a little bit of truth inside of the wild, crazy shit that I say. So I'm gonna tell people like, oh, I'm gonna say some shit about the White Lives Matter shit and the George Floyd shit, but at the same time, I'm gonna let you know that Jewish people have been running the industry and been making money off of, uh, the music industry, specifically rap and hip hop, and the negative stereotypes of our culture.
Can
That's
we?
that's true, but the reality of the situation is that we have our own making that type of music.
Yeah, it's been that way for a long time, but
Right.
it's not. It's a chicken or the egg thing. Hip hop didn't invent the word nigga. Hip hop didn't
Exactly.
invent guns. It didn't
Right.
invent the word bitch. It just uses all three better than everybody else.
Facts.
The
Facts.
one thing I wanted to ask you about, Black, and I'm gonna let you go. But this so-called genius, right? This motherfucking so-called genius does not know the difference between death con and defense condition 3. DEF con 3 is a military posture. Death con is some shit that sound like a fucking funeral director convention.
It sounds like genocide or some
It
shit.
sounds like genocide.
Yeah.
And so no wonder they reacted so severely. They would have reacted either way, but goddamn, you fucking moron. He is feeding Nazis. He is feeding right-wing fascists.
Mm-hmm.
He's a big-ass problem, bro. I'll let you go. I hope you got more guests coming on to the show. Everybody hit the subscribe button to Black GMS. The GMS show is the best, baby.
Appreciate you, fam. Everybody make sure you go subscribe to the basketball. Say your channel again so I don't fuck it up.
The Black Basketball Channel with Zen Master.
There we go. The Black Basketball Channel with Zen Master. He will be there in the chat. Make sure you guys go subscribe and check out the latest updates in basketball news with my guy. Appreciate you, brother.
Peace, fam.
Hey, man. And that's another thing about this Kanye shit, man. I think he thinks that he's being edgy and cutthroat, but I don't know if that's it. I really think this is a personal thing. I think it's for personal gain. Let me see what you said. Robert Nelson says, so Zen and GMS, y'all let white folk tell y'all what black person to be mad at. He has mental issues. I guess another black man can't have flaws. No, there was no white person that told me to be mad at Kanye West. I saw what Kanye said, and I decided to form my own opinion. I don't know about you, Robert Nelson, but I watched that entire 3-hour podcast, and there was not a white man sitting next to me interpreting what was being said. Come on, Rob. Come on, Rob. You know you can't come here to the GMS show where we think logically and we speak with common sense and think that I'm letting somebody tell me how to feel. I actually do my due diligence. And I've already seen a few people say that they didn't watch the shit at all. I watched it. I watched all 3 hours and formed my own opinion enough to even say that I agreed with some of the shit that he was saying, and which was, to me and Zen's point about how you put truths inside of the fuck shit that you say to get people involved or to get more people to believe in what you're doing. And Kanye was saying factual shit inside of this interview, but saying a lot of wild shit that didn't make sense, that was spewing talking points of white supremacy. If anything, you should have said we let a black person tell us how to feel about Kanye, because this nigga was spewing white supremacy talking points. This nigga has a whole shirt that said White Lives Matter. I don't know what white folk was telling me to be mad at Kanye. It sure as hell wasn't none of these fake ally activist bitches that be sitting up here with Black Lives Matter in their bio, but really be out here doing fuck shit. That's all I'm saying. When you come here and you hear what I got to say, please understand that I do my due diligence, man. I watch shit. I listen to shit. Everything, man. Shit was 3 hours long. And I listened to everything that was said, every point, every topic, every random rant, random comparison. This motherfucker called himself the new Rob Kardashian, his baby mom's dad. He basically said he was reincarnated. Rob Kardashian reincarnated. What does that sound like? That doesn't sound like something that makes sense. Tell me how that would make sense. Tell me what he meant by that. Please tell me. Somebody in the chat that understands what Kanye's talking about, tell me what he meant. Tell me what he meant. I don't know what the fuck this nigga meant. I couldn't tell you for the life of me. Is it because he said the dad raised him Christian? So he's going to raise his children Christian? Is that what he means? Why do you have to be the new Rob Kardashian to do that? Nah, that was Kanye's way of trying to say something that'll go either viral or get the attention of his baby mom. Pure facts. And have them say some shit on the Kardashians like Kanye's going crazy. He's calling himself our dad. He's basically saying he's reincarnated as our dad. Man, stop it. Kanye just be saying shit. Arias said he's too heavily influenced by the Kardashian family, whether or not he wants to acknowledge it. Fame and the craving of it is blinding as fuck. He means well, but ain't being steered the right way. Willie said, no, he's doing what he can do to get you all heated with him, and then next thing you know, he be trying to bring his dumb ass back to his to his black babies. Kanye uses the black community to try to help his situation. with his family. And then after that, he'll put on a White Lives Matter shirt and be like, yeah, because you niggas don't listen. Oh, okay. Robert said, we don't own the media machine. Obama insulted his wife and him. Plus, they've been after Kanye since 2005 when he said Bush don't care about black people. Well, tell me this, Robert. How did Kanye go from George Bush doesn't care about black people to White Lives Matter and George Floyd died from fentanyl and not a knee to his neck like everybody fucking saw in a fucking video for themselves? I don't know. That's just me. We got Marcus Speaks joining the fucking podcast today. What's going on, Marcus? How you feeling, brother?
What's going on, black man? I'm sorry. Hold on. All right. What's going on, GMS?
I'm chilling, man. How you feeling?
I guess like how everybody else is feeling after watching this damn I don't know what the hell to call
it. The fuckery.
You could call it that, but on the real, I said this last night about Candace Owens.
Mm-hmm.
Candace Owens, she has an ability to make you listen, but then it's some fuck shit that comes behind what the hell she's talking about. So you can sit there and be like, okay, cool. She's spitting some facts, and then it's like, oh, okay, she done fucked up there.
Yep.
So when I was watching this Kanye West interview, like, okay, so Thursday night I watched this podcast. So basically what they were saying was, well, one of the hosts was saying was, Ye went Hebrew Israelite instead of going Hotep. Now I know probably some of y'all don't like be like, oh, this nigga Hotep, fuck. It's like, just listen.
Yeah.
So he went Hebrew Israelite. You see a lot of rappers do this. Kendrick did it. Cole kinda did it. Lupe Fiasco kinda did it.
Yeah.
And it's like Kanye was spitting facts, but he was spitting facts from a Christian like religious way instead of hitting it like dead on. Like, yeah, he was talking about the J people. Yeah, he was talking about, you know what I mean, F this and F them, kill me, these fake thugs and all that. That was all for show.
Yeah.
Was there some takeaways for what he was saying? Yeah. Yeah, it was some takeaways.
Yeah.
But then he did the Candace Owens thing. He wrapped it in some bullshit. And I was sitting there like, all right, you had me, now you fucking up. And this is what I want to say.
Yeah.
And I say this a lot on my show. We're basically getting upset about what a celebrity is saying to us. We're getting upset because a man who needs somebody to filter what he's saying so we can actually get what he's exactly trying to say. Because I was saying this to my sister when I was watching it. I had to pick her up from the hospital. So she was like, what is he talking about? I said, this is Kanye. You just got to pay attention and follow what he's talking about. Yeah. I said, if you sit there and you try to interrupt him, he's going to fuck his own thoughts up. So I was just sitting there listening. I was like, okay, that's something that I can take from it. All right, that was some bullshit right there. Okay, cool. So, okay, to get back what I was saying, because I had totally went a different way. I say this on my show a lot. We look at these celebrities as if they're like, well, I won't even say God. We look at them as if like they're like the highest of the high to us.
Yeah.
So when we go to to look at them for guidance and shit like that, this is what we get. We get Kanye talking for 3 hours about nonsense. He keeps talking about designers. He keeps talking about some fuck shit that only someone in his tax bracket deals with.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what did you take away from what he was saying, GMS? Was there any life-changing things that you got from what the hell he was saying?
I know one thing. If I'll say it like this, if I have the influence and I have the impact that a Kanye West has, I'm gonna be more not just cocky and confident when I have the billions. I'm gonna be cocky and confident in the fact that I can make shit shake. I can push the culture how I can push the culture, and I don't need this entity. I don't need Adidas, or the Gap, or any of these other people, Balenciaga, anything like that, to help me push my own brand. If I'm making my own clothes, if I'm styling everything, I'm putting it out there. These are my designs, and people are gravitating towards my design. They're not just what used to happen was a nigga would get a brand deal. They'll make the shit and put the face and the name on it and be like, here, this is their shit.
Right.
Kanye is putting the time in to make these clothes, create these, put all his ideas on paper and put it into clothes form and sell it to the people that is appealing to the people, not just because of his name, but because apparently they like what the fuck he's putting out. He can do this shit independently. He does not need any of these entities. And I think those are the main people that he's pissed off at. It's not the black community that's not speaking up for every time Kim don't answer the phone when he want to see his kids. Right. It's these other entities that are not treating Kanye like the top priority.
Right.
When he can make himself the top priority, just like that.
So 2 things that you said, I'll get to them in order. So you talked about him, going independent with his brand, which I said that as well. I said I think I said it last week, I believe. I said on my podcast, I said this is a good thing. That was 2 weeks ago. I'm sorry. I said this is a good thing. He's getting away from these big corporate brands.
Right.
So let's see if he starts coming out with stores around the country. I said that'd be a good look for him. He'll be able to sell not only his Yeezys there, he'll be able to sell his clothing as well. So, I don't know if he's looking at it like that. Like, okay, I'm my own brand. I don't need somebody else to push my brand for me. I'll push it myself.
Yeah.
I don't know if he needs distributors or whatever, but maybe he should get with some distributors. Some black distributors out there. The clothing brand that Zoe Williams wears all the time, Ramomar Clothing, he can get with him.
You know how many people would jump to the opportunity to help distribute Yeezy brand just because of the fact that it's guaranteed lucrative
business
financially. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like it's just that lucrative to be able to be in the Yeezy business.
Exactly.
If he's so concerned, this is another thing, man, because this goes to his new best friend Candace Owens. They're concerned about.
They've been friends. They've been friends.
Well, it seems like they become best friends now.
Well, the only way she got on to Joe Rogan is because she had her Kanye West connect. Her first appearance on Joe Rogan.
The problem with her is that she's the type of person who can convince a Kanye to believe something other than what he saw or other than what he experienced.
Right.
Now, I don't think Kanye is I don't think he's wrong in wanting to have black people be free thinkers and to do what they want to do without having to be in a box or to be in a group to, be outraged together every time something is said or every time there's a hashtag out there, or to just follow mindlessly behind entity because they're pushing something that they know everybody's going to be on board of, that we should be able to actually pay more attention to where funds are going or what people are actually doing to make a difference in that community, which is crazy because Kanye is a $6.6 billion man.
Right.
And I know that he said that he's donated to, George Floyd's family and Breonna Taylor's family, but he's from Chicago. And for him to talk about how people don't talk about in the media what's going on in Chicago, but yet can't answer the question, what has he done, or what has he spoke up, or what has he tried to do to try to help in the slightest, which I don't think there's a lot you can do because they're so far gone in Chicago. But there was never, I don't think there's ever been a time where Kanye has put a lot of focus into trying to figure out anything to help that community out there. Because it's an easy talking point. It's easy to try to be like, oh yeah, y'all talking about Black Lives Matter and y'all up in arms every time a cop kills a black person, but what about what's going on in Chicago? Nigga, we know what's going on in Chicago. What the fuck do you want the public to do besides bring awareness to it? Clearly, y'all be like, that's the fucked up part. They try to act like we don't know, or we try to look over it, or try to skip over it, or ignore it when it's talked about all the fucking time. And then to say that the media don't talk about it. You know they don't talk about these black people dying. Nigga, everybody knows about this.
Yeah.
Everybody. What do they expect us to do?
Well, what can we do? That's a good question too. What can we do? Because
what can we do?
Because I remember when I was growing up, my mom was dating this bishop. So he used to hold these stop the crime walks. And like to see this in action, these niggas would be scurrying because he wouldn't tell you to go home. He'll grab you and pull you into the crowd or whatever. So I don't know, like we need some sort of intervention when it comes to that. When it comes to street violence, drug selling, we need some sort of intervention. The only way we can do it is if we decide to do it. Like I'm seeing too much where we're looking towards the government for help. Like what this whole like thing with Tariq Nasheed going for reparations. I have a disdain for Tariq Nasheed now. Like it's something about this motherfucker now where I'm like, nah. Like I asked this question on Twitter the other week. I had probably like 10 people in an uproar with the shit that I said. First thing I said was Tariq Nasheed is a cancer to the black community. So I retweeted it, and then the people who saw it on the original post, they started commenting underneath. So one dude said, what have you done for the black community? I said, that's not the question. Let's stay focused. I said, since you want to be a smart ass, name something significant that Tariq Nasheed has done for the black community. I said, just so you're not pandering, let's put these things out of the way so you can give a great answer. I said, let's take away the Hidden Colors series. Let's take away 1804. Let's take away buck breaking. Let's take away his Ogun juice and his sock selling. What did he do significant for the black community? I didn't hear anything. It was just arguments the whole fucking time. I'm like, y'all sitting on here getting triggered, but y'all can't answer the question. Like, just name something significant that this nigga did. Like, Ivan brought up his purchase of the building for the Hidden Museum. Well, someone that I watch has beef with him. It's not like I'm taking sides or whatever, but she seems to have a lot of receipts that can be looked upon. You can look these motherfuckers up. I looked some of them up. I said, oh, well, I guess she's right.
In what regard? What was she saying?
Well, one thing, it was he was not a college dropout, he was a high school dropout. That was true. She said that his wiki page changed. She said it's some way you can look it up, and I looked it up. The way that she said And then I compared the two wiki pages from the old one to the new one. All the shit that's on the old one isn't on the new one. So to get back to the purchase of the museum, I asked the guy, I said, if you donated, do you know how much he paid for the building? And if the building was cheap from the money that he raised, where the rest of the money go? So then the person that was arguing with me, he goes to say, why are you worried about the money for? I said, see, this is what I'm talking about. This is the reason why black people get robbed when it comes to donating to organizations that they know nothing about. Let's take, okay, well, I might have some backlash on this. Let's take Black Lives Matter. 90.
You won't get any back. You won't get any backlash from because that organization. I've already said fuck the organization. Everybody know that. I don't fuck with them. They definitely didn't do shit for the black community. I know that for a fact.
90 million in 2020. They had 60 million on hand when they got that. That rounds up to about 150 million or so.
Yeah.
Okay. In order to be a nonprofit, you have to spend all of the money before the end of the year comes. They still had that money, which then makes them a for-profit company. So when we asked as black people who donated, where'd the money go? There's no answer. Or it's, well, we can't disclose that information. You're a nonprofit. You're a public entity. We can't ask you those questions. What are you talking about? And then it's crickets on their side. So it's like, to be honest, when it comes to, matter of fact, let me back it up. There won't be able to be another a new black organization. We're just gonna have to stick with the ones that we got and deal with the bullshit that they give us. Because if someone comes up with a new black organization, we're gonna look at them like Black Lives Matter.
And that's another part of why what was happening was so detrimental and so fucked up, and why it's even more horrible that the organization dropped the ball like they did, because there was already, before any of this, before any of the money or thinking of the funds, there was already backlash to Black Lives Matter. So it's like you're already dealing with backlash. You're already dealing with what you already know to be people pushing back on your cause and your message. Why would you make it easier on white supremacy to disregard black lives? And then I thought about it. I'm like, at the end of the day, we are humans. All this shit will go out the window once a certain motherfucker see dollar signs and opportunity.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because 3 of the original founders found some money some way, somehow. Who knows how they did it? And they all left.
And see, the thing about Tariq, I can't speak to any of what I know of what Tariq has done for the black community significantly. I don't know personally, but what I can say is what I've learned over the years is that we can put, the Boys and Girls Clubs, we can build those, we can build or we can start programs, we can, allocate funds to, different shit to try to help in certain communities. We can build housing, we can do all this different shit. When it comes to money, when people talk about donating money, but what they always seem to forget is the mental aspect of all of this. We have to change the mentality. It's a mental thing. If we change the mentality, then we can take care of everything else.
Right.
There's a huge mental problem within the community to where we can't come to the conclusion that we need to see better days or see progress or see a change in how we're either viewed or what we have as a legacy as a people. We can't see the bigger picture as a whole.
You want to know my solution? A lot gets said when it comes to, and I said solution. I don't even like giving solutions out on the internet, but since this is the GMS show, you get it on the house. A lot of other communities seem to come together. Chinese, Japanese, Jewish, Spanish, Hispanic, Latino, whatever community you look at, there's some sort of cohesion between them.
Yeah.
This is the solution. A lot of black people talk about, well, we need our reparations because our ancestors were slaves and blah 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 blah, right? Well, do you know what they had during that time? Unity. You know what we don't have now? Unity.
If we did, we probably would have been had the reparations. See, that's the thing that I do. Another thing that I agree with Kanye on when he was talking about the Jewish community. He talked about their unity. He talked about how they did shit in togetherness. They didn't have to like everybody individually. They didn't have to love each other individually. They just knew that as a people, they could be stronger if they could build together and know that financially, if they had everything financially, that they can control most of the things going on out here. And knowing that we push the culture the way that we do and how we control things the way that we do as a culture, it should have been a given. That's an alley-oop to know, holy shit, we can make niggas overseas want to be like us or want to do the same shit that we do. We should be able to build this shit as a whole, as ourselves. We shouldn't be looking to anybody else outside of us to make this shit go. See, like you got the executives, you got the owners and shit like that, but they be getting the niggas to be the A&Rs and niggas to go and get talent and motherfuckers to go and make the beats and go and record the songs and shoot the videos and to make the merch and all types of shit because we help push the culture, the designs, all that shit. So this is why I say the mentality has to change. We have to know who we are. We have to know what we're capable of. And we have to know that we aren't our enemy. We get that shit together. That's that. I mean, we'll be unstoppable, but we're so a lot of us are so far gone that it seems like it's gonna take 4 or 5 centuries to make this shit happen.
I was listening to a show that Judge Joe Brown was on the other night, and one of the callers who called into the show, they had some debacles, but the key question out of that from the caller was because Judge Joe Brown is trying to become the mayor of Memphis. So the question was, how can you, because I'm guessing the guy did his research and said it's like 55% black, it's like whatever percent white in Memphis or whatever. So he was like, how's it that you can close do you have any plans to close the wealth gap between black people and white people, and how long do you think it'll take? So Judge Joe Brown said, well, he said, if I get into office, it's only going to take 10 years. So we need somebody like Judge Joe Brown, and hell, even we can put in Umar Johnson. We can put in
the Umar
donations.
Shout out to, speaking of donations, shout out to Willie Rouse for the 55 and the cash. I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate that for sure. Shout out Willie Rouse.
We need some people like them who actually have their head on straight to where they have the plan, but they also need another group who can execute it,
right?
Such as like I forgot Zoe's homeboy that he always talks about. He's a lawyer, whatever. Get somebody like him to hear the plan out while everything's being planned so it can be executed. I feel as though if Judge Joe Brown said he can close that wealth gap in Memphis within 10 years, I feel as though if he did it on a national scale, and within that same 10 years, we can still, we will probably be able to get a substantial check when it comes to reparations. Okay. Now, A lot of groups have gotten reparations in this country who were not of this country. The Japanese, the Jewish people. Hell, we're seeing right now with the immigration problem that we got going on in this country right now, and them being bused to New York or whatever.
Yeah,
they're getting stipends. They're getting basically a place to live. They're getting, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like,
I mean, niggas that don't live here getting shit. Nigga, Ukraine been getting billions.
yeah,
Like, there really is no excuse for why reparations hasn't even been in motion.
I said this last night. As much money that we gave Ukraine, why aren't they a state yet? Like, why aren't they an offshore state? We given them so much fucking money as if they were a part. A part of a part of the damn United States. Like, what?
They gave Ukraine enough money to evacuate. Them motherfuckers said they able to get the fuck out of there. Russia wouldn't be bombing shit right now if they would have been dispersing that shit the right way. God damn it!
I feel
like that, the way that they treat Black people in America is because they feel that we are complacent with it, and that the only power that we have is talking and marching and putting up signs.
Well, you see what happens when we talk. When we start talking the truth, a lot of us get kicked off of these platforms.
Mm-hmm.
Farrakhan, Alex Jones, and somebody else back in 2016, I believe.
Alex Jones got to play a Billy.
They got kicked off of all platforms. Then when it came to the panty, when people started talking the truth about that, which has now which now has come out to be true, everything that was being said. You kick people off because it didn't fit the narrative. That's what I believe is reason why Black people in this country alone, will never get reparations, because it doesn't fit the narrative of the United States of America.
What do we expect from a bunch of motherfuckers who have escaped accountability for centuries? If niggas is actively trying to escape accountability, what makes you think that they just gonna say, okay, here we just gonna pay you for what we did wrong?
Hell, if you hear them say it, that wasn't us, and we don't take any responsibility for what happened back in those days, and blah 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 blah. And it's like, well, you're still committing those same atrocities to us now.
Yo, I spoke on this Friday night on 3Gs when I was like, yo, think about how much they were on people's ass about talking about COVID. Like, I could say it now. I could say vaccine without there being a disclaimer under my video now, because it's not that fucking important anymore to them. And their main thing with the disinformation 12 was to only silence the voices that they've been wanting to silence before this shit even happened.
What the hell was I about to say? What did you just say just a minute ago?
About
oh, okay. I'm sorry. Here we go. All right, I need you to say it. What you said a minute ago.
I'm thinking now. I was thinking about it, then I stopped because I thought you had it. Now I got to think one more second. Give me 1 second. Before I said about the disinformation 12.
Okay, here we go. I got it. During COVID, right? Did a video. You remember when the emails came out, Fauci's emails?
Yeah.
Did a video on that. You know what happened to that video? YouTube deleted it.
They X'd it out.
You know why? Because on there, in one of the emails, email 218, I believe it is, it gives you the formula of the
vax?
The vax. No, not the vax, the sickness. All in order. It was sitting right there. The man said verbatim, I believe this is the sequence of the sickness. I said that on my show, and this is the crazy part. I watched a lawyer show who did something. I basically did his show, but my way. I paid attention to exactly how he did his show, but I did it my way. His video stayed up. My video got deleted.
Of course. Of course. Like, this is how they play the game. Like, the fucked up part too is how this shit all happens and how they put it out there. It's like they focus on the mind. They focus on getting people in the mind and getting them to do what they want them to do without really telling them to do so. Even with some of the people trying to encourage people to go out and tell people to go and get vaxxed. Like, how many people have come to you to say, you should go get it, man. You should go get the shit, man. You should go get that. You should go get this. It was because people was vigorously telling them to do so, right? Now you don't see these people saying shit. And it's not because they got enough data to be like, yeah, most Americans took the vax. No, they didn't. It's just not as important anymore. It's not a cash grab. You guys didn't need to recoup from having to give out so much fucking pandemic money. you recoup from your shit.
Well, it was their fault for shutting everything down. So what could they do?
Exactly. They need to recoup that. Then people talking about inflation, people talking about the gas prices, people talked about all this shit, and they don't understand that this is them recouping what they gave out to the public plus more. Mm-hmm. They wanted interest, which means other things are going to increase, and you're going to be having to look at certain things in your tax bracket like, oh, I didn't know I had to pay for this, or I didn't know I had to get taxed for this, or I didn't know I had to. It's going to be different regulations and shit. Just pay attention.
I wanted to ask you a question. Let's get back to the Kanye thing. So it was one thing you said. Mm-hmm. I answered one of the things you brought up. Kanye and him bringing up his kids or whatever. This is one of the things I was thinking when it pertained to him speaking about his kids, and I want to ask you to see if you see it too.
Okay.
So he comes out to us and says he's not able to see his kids, or they're being kidnapped in broad daylight, or whatever. Do you think that the reason why Kanye is doing a lot of these antics is because he's not able to see his kids, and Kim and the family are they're allowing that to happen so he can act the way that he's acting right now?
Well, I'll say this. This is why I say that Kanye shouldn't be taking out his frustration and anger that he has with the Kardashian family on the black community by doing weird shit like putting on the White Lives Matter tee and shit and all the other shit.
Well, you gotta look at his influences that's around him for that.
Well, I think and it's because he knows those are easy triggers right there. It's an easy trigger.
Yeah.
And because he feels triggered, because he feels betrayed, because he feels like the people don't have his back. Like he says, he's like, if you love my music, if you love what I've done for the culture, if you love my clothes, if you love this, you'll speak. Listen, Kanye, this is the problem with the whole Kardashian shit. They move accordingly to what will be good on their show.
Mm-hmm.
You think this nigga Tristan was just going out here getting caught up with all these bitches because he was that stupid? You think that Tristan was that dumb? No, this is part of the story. Listen, it will make it so much more easier because look, their mother gives their fucking business out there to TMZ and all these blogs so their names can stay in the tabloids. I'm not putting it past them to be like, yo, since we already know this ain't gonna work. This is from Chloe's standpoint. Niggas, since we know this ain't gonna work, we know we not finna tie the knot. This ain't gonna be serious. We might as well get these ratings. Go do your thing. I'm going to look like the wholesome baby mother who is out here trying to hold it together, and everybody's gonna be like, wow, Chloe's just getting cheated on and she's just getting treated so wrong. And then on the Kanye side of the game, oh, Kanye's going crazy on the internet, putting text messages out there, which is why them motherfuckers decided to say, hey, can you stop putting up stuff? This is really stressing out my mother. She's 60-some years old. Bitch, you was watching your own daughter get back shots to sell to motherfucking Vivid videos, but Kanye's Instagram posts are stressing you out?
Pretty
Stop
much.
it. I don't want to hear none of that shit. I don't want to hear this family.
Oh,
and
man.
this is why another reason why I don't put it past Kim to be an antagonizer or doing certain things on purpose.
Don't leave out whore.
Yeah, and using his mental illness against him, knowing that he'll spaz out, knowing that he'll maybe overreact or maybe go to certain extents to say certain things to make himself look bad and not make her look bad. Of course, like I know what happened when he says that nobody was hitting him back for the address to the kid's birthday party. The only
person that did was Travis.
Right. Travis Scott is the person that helped Kanye get to his daughter's birthday party. Now, people were like, well, it's because he's acting out. He's saying crazy shit on the internet. They don't want that energy around the kids. How do you know how he acts around his kids?
Exactly. Like, what does what you see on the internet pertain to someone off of the internet?
I've never seen Kanye put his kids in danger, or I've never heard anybody say that Kanye puts his kids in danger or talks to his kids crazy or anything like that. So I can't assume that was her reasoning for doing that. My thing that I see, what I've observed over the years, is that these motherfuckers love controversy. So hey, this might be a good idea to not tell Kanye where his fucking daughter's birthday party is and have him spaz out on the internet like he's been doing on Instagram for I don't know how long.
Let's spell that out real fast. So far this year, Kim has had a lawsuit on her that she just paid off. Well, I think it was like 1.13 million. Just this week, Candace Owens put out audio tapes of her disrespecting Whitney Houston when she was alive. Then there was the sex tape thing, Ray J coming out saying it's all her mom's fault. I had nothing to do with it.
They ain't got no energy for that shit. I ain't seen them speak on that. Is that gonna be on the Kardashian show
one time? And this is a lot of these things could basically have them lose ratings, if not their audience altogether.
Yeah.
But somehow, some way, they're able to weasel their way out of this shit and they're back on top. How the fuck is this possible?
This is the People's Show today. Join in, DC. Where you at, DC? I ain't seen you on the motherfucker in a while. I got the link comment is pinned at the top of the chat, man. Join in if you want to have something to say as well, DC. What up, my nigga? But yeah, no, the Kardashians have built themselves off of controversy and off of staying in the tabloids by actively doing things on purpose. Because ain't nobody, look, there's nothing interesting about their personal life unless there's niggas involved. Am I right or am I wrong?
Yeah, but since they not fucking with niggas no more, like you said yesterday, when you commented on my show, you said they are going white now.
They're going white now because,
and I'm glad that you said that yesterday, because I said that probably like 2 months before.
It's becoming more lucrative now because they've already got called out way too many times for appropriating culture, doing X, Y, and Z. They probably tired of that. They probably like, oh, we've dealt with all these black men and we've only had trouble with black men, so now they dating white dudes. It started with the oldest one. Courtney was like, you know what?
But she always dated.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying with her new relationship, the whole punk rock shit,
right?
They started to feed into that shit. I started seeing some of that shit, like when they started doing their whole, like she had a wedding or whatever. And them niggas was wearing goth shit, black shit, all this other weird shit. It's like these niggas, they seem like they starting to make the change, and I start seeing Kim start like lighting her skin up. I said, "Oh,
Did
shit.
you see that I guess it was a magazine she was in where she dyed her eyebrows blonde and her hair was blonde? Did you see that?
Yeah,
was like-
they're going back Caucasian.
I was like, what the fuck is going
I'll
on?
tell you, it's only a matter of time before Chris's nigga is up out of there.
I would say this pertaining to them. I feel as though that they're losing their footing when it comes to them being in the public eye. They've been in the public eye for what, like 20 years, 15 years, something like that.
Yeah.
So I feel as though that they're losing their footing when it comes to, you know, their influence, because, you know, they got the new show on Hulu. I don't know who's watching it because Hulu doesn't come out with their analytics to their program. So
I've never watched a Keeping Up with the Kardashians episode in my life.
Man, I can say I have, but it wasn't willingly. Like I was like, oh shit, Keeping Up with Kardashians is on. Nah.
He said, let's see what this shit is about. Let's see why the fuck these motherfuckers love this shit so much. Then you watch it and be like,
I'm sitting there watching it with a girlfriend of mine. I'm sitting there yelling at the TV the whole time because the way Courtney was treating Scott.
Oh, I forgot I could put comments up. My bad, y'all. Damn, I forgot about this aspect of the show. I'll be using my other program. I hardly use StreamYard, so I forgot I could do that.
Kris Jenner built like RoboCop.
I'm about to be posting up more comments. Yeah, leave some comments up here. I'm gonna be posting y'all comments up here, nigga. I don't give a fuck, man. I'll roast some shit, say some shit. I forgot I could do this. Shout out DC the Truth.
I got one more
playing catch up with what's going on in the world. Just got off. I'm listening for now for sure. Appreciate you, DC.
I got one more thing, and then I'm gonna get out of here.
For sure.
So pertaining back to Kanye, right?
Yeah. Let's stick to Ye real quick.
So everybody is up in an uproar. Like everybody's upset about the shit that he said. But has anybody thought that this is Kanye you're getting upset about? Kanye does this shit. Kanye has always did this shit. Why is what he said today any different?
Now, here's the thing that makes this statement like interesting, because just like
all right.
What do you say?
He said, "Look like you sitting at the kids' table." No, nigga. All right, I got my shit lowered on my screen. All right.
Here's the thing that we hold with Kanye. We deep down inside, we love Kanye.
We do.
I believe that to be a fact. I believe deep down inside we love Kanye, and Kanye is being that cousin who decided to go off and be on that fuck shit, went to the streets, stripping, smoking heroin, and just trying to throw their life away because they something happened in their life that they can't fucking take. And even though that's extreme for Kanye, because Kanye most definitely is a billionaire and a very innovative and influential person, but it's like you get, in my opinion, you get mad at him for that, and it's not even about, oh, here he goes again, this is what he does. It's like, why do you keep coming to the public with this and trying to make this shit trend? Like, leave this shit to yourself. Leave those white lives matter shits to yourself. You trying to sell this shit now. Like, it would be one thing if Kanye just started coming out and saying random shit, like, oh man, that's what he does. He's just saying random shit. He's trying to sell this shit.
But weren't they selling Black Lives Matter t-shirts as well?
Oh yeah, they definitely were.
What's the difference?
Definitely were.
What's the difference?
The difference is upholding white supremacy to do so. When I say that the White Lives Matter t-shirt is detrimental, it's because I go back to the origins. I wasn't saying Black Lives Matter to rep the organization. You wasn't saying Black Lives Matter to rep the organization.
I didn't say it at all.
People that care about Black Lives Mattering care about Black Lives Mattering because they do in fact matter. So when
Yes,
you have
they do.
when you have somebody that combats that with all lives matter and white lives matter, that wasn't put there because of the organization. It was put there to simply combat that phrase and combat the the fact that Black Lives Matter. So with this, with Kanye doing this shit and trying to use the organization as an excuse,
bring up the
I feel like it's
DC
bullshit.
the Truth's comment, please.
He said, "My guy, a product of, oh man, Ryan Davis and Jeezy fused."
That's funny as fuck, but here we go. Since you want to roast, goddamn it.
Uh-oh.
DC the Truth looked like a fucking shit sandwich on rye.
Not
now,
on rye.
Since I can't see you right now, I don't really have any good ones. But until I do, goddamn it. Until I do.
Hell no.
But anyway, I'll leave you with this and then I'm gonna get off.
For sure.
So will there be any retribution for Kanye West after this?
Retribution. No, I think.
Will we welcome Kanye back into the Black community again?
Here's the thing. I wholeheartedly believe that one part or one side of the Black community doesn't represent the Black community as a whole. There are definitely still Black individuals who support Kanye right now at this moment and disregard the White Lives Matter or the Trump shit or anything like that. And I can't say that because they fuck with Kanye right now that he's not welcome to the Black community. What I will say is that it'll be harder for Black people to trust what Kanye has to say in the future if they haven't already over the past few years. But that's just
yo. I'm a grown ass man, son. Don't ever ask me a stupid ass question like that. You take off your shirt, you fucking. Ooh, I can't say it on here. I don't want to fucking tell him. But anyway, I'm going. All right. I thank you for having me on here. All right.
All right, appreciate it. Hey, everybody go ahead and subscribe to Marcus Speaks, man. Appreciate you, Marcus, man. That's my guy, man. He be on his shit, man. He be going live every week. Make sure you tune in to Marcus Speaks, subscribe, and show your love. Yeah, go ahead. If y'all got some last things y'all want to say, man, put it in the comments. I'm going to read them off. We're going to talk about it. True Saber said, Ye seems to think that the far right will protect him from the leftists that he feels is targeting him. Sort of like young Pharaoh. He's Moses, wanna be Jesus. That's actually, so that's a good observation because he does bring up the leftists and he does bring up the Democratic Party. And I need Black people to know that we should not hold on to politics like other demographics of people, because at the end of the day, we've seen for ourselves that there's no in favor of Black people nowhere in politics. So to call yourself a Democrat or a Republican or whatever, I just feel like there's no reason to. There's no reason to. There's until somebody actually actively does something to support Black people as a whole and not just do things for a few and just to look good for the community or say things to get the community's vote and support. We gotta steer clear of that shit, man. Because I think we're just a demographic that they like to use when it's time to get votes. Like when you think about it, all year long, a whole bunch of fuck shit happens towards Black people. A bunch of things are said, a bunch of things are done, a bunch of all different type of shit. But as soon as it's time, when voting time comes around, election time comes around, then Black people are the most pandered to. Motherfuckers was putting Black Lives Matter in the middle of the street. They was putting Black Lives Matter in video games and all types of shit. All around this time of elections and all this shit. And when the George Floyd shit happened, they was pandering like a motherfucker. These niggas had on dashikis. They had on traditional African garb. Kneeling on one knee in the middle of a fucking building somewhere. Nancy Pelosi sitting up there with the heavies, talking about some with her fist up. Fuck out of here. That is pandering to the highest degree. I can't deal with it, man. I just gotta steer clear of politics, man. They like to use us. We're a very useful demographic until it's time to actually say that our lives matter. It's crazy. Our vote matters, but our lives don't. You get that? You pay attention to that? Does that make sense? Our lives don't matter, but those votes fucking do, don't they? Huh? Yeah, whatever. But this is a very dope conversation. We still gonna have a show tomorrow because I do want to talk about that Pierre and Delay shit that happened. I got some more points to make for the Kanye episode tomorrow. If y'all want to pull up 6 o'clock tomorrow night, we're gonna talk about more shit because I know more shit's gonna happen within 24 hours. So appreciate y'all, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button, hit the Cash App below if you are feeling generous. Follow me on my socials. I follow everybody back. Shout out to Willie Rouse for the 55 in the Cash App, man. I really appreciate that shit, man. All the love and support that y'all give the GMS show, man. I really appreciate it. And I'm forever indebted to y'all for pulling up every single fucking week, man. For real. Put a GMS in the chat. I'm going to shout y'all out. What'd you say? Kanye needs true guidance, not just enough to be successful, but happy and whole. Zen Master said, I'm a classic liberal, not a neoliberal. Let's see. Great pop-up show. Thank you. Give money soon. That sounded cavemanish. DC said, I'll get to catch up with everything. I'll be off 4 days starting Thursday. Shout out to you, DC. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I appreciate y'all, man. This was a dope show. There was no music at all. We just had to straight up get to the point and get to the topics, man. I appreciate y'all so much. GMS fam, the green room. I'll see y'all tomorrow. And I'm going to fuck with y'all later this week. Hope y'all had a great weekend. Hope y'all have a wonderful week in advance. Keep that GMS. Roll something. We out.